I'm Sofia Delgado, and right now I'm sitting in a walnut-paneled boardroom that smells like old money and older grudges, watching my brother Victor parade around like he just inherited the throne. He's got Mom on his right, Aunt Claudia on his left, and 14 cousins lined up like courtiers while his wife Lauren keeps stroking his sleeve as if the crown is already on his head.
Me?
I'm in the same cracked leather chair by the exit I've occupied since I was 12, the one nobody fights over. If you've ever been the black sheep who's about to watch the golden child get publicly dethroned, smash that like button, because you are not ready for what's coming. 5 years ago, when Abuelo Mateo got his stage 4 pancreatic cancer diagnosis, the vultures started circling before the doctor even left the room. Not because we were heartbroken, though I was, but because suddenly there was something to inherit. 13 apartment buildings for retail strips, and a quiet little warehouse that brought in $52,000 a month like a Swiss watch. For 35 years, Victor had treated Abuelo like an ATM with a pulse. I treated him like the only person who ever saw me. Family script was simple. Victor was the finance bro hero with the Wharton degree, the 7-figure bonus, the perfect Instagram family. I was the creative one who quit law school to chase a camera, the daughter Mom introduced as Sophia. She takes pictures. Translation: unemployed disappointment. 2 months after the diagnosis, Victor cornered me in the kitchen. When Abuelo goes, he said, stirring his espresso like he was already liquidating assets, someone competent needs to run things. No offense, Soph, but emotions don't pay property taxes. I didn't answer. I'd learned that arguing with Victor was like arguing with a mirror, shiny, expensive, and completely disinterested in anyone else's reflection. So while Victor golfed with estate attorneys, I moved into Abuelo's spare bedroom. I was there when the pain meds stopped working, when he couldn't keep water down, when he still insisted on wearing his ancient cardigan because it still has good years left. We'd sit on his sagging porch and he'd talk, not about net operating income, but about people. How Mr. Park in Unit 7 lost his wife last Christmas and still leaves cookies on the stoop for the mailman. How the laundromat tenant, Rosa, was saving to bring her mother from Guatemala. Details Victor never bothered to learn because tenants were line items, not human beings. One rainy Tuesday, 6 months before the end, Abuelo grabbed my wrist with a grip that shouldn't have been possible. Mija, Victor visited yesterday. Talked for an hour about trusts and step-up basis. Never once asked how I slept. His eyes, still piercing under paper-thin lids, locked on mine. You know why I never showed in the books? Because he only ever saw numbers. You see stories. Then he made me promise to meet him at the bank the next morning. That week he walked me, slowly, stubbornly, through every single property. We met every tenant, every vendor. He handed me the master key ring that weighed more than he did by then and made me label each key in my own handwriting. This one sticks if you don't jiggle it twice, he'd whisper. That building floods if you don't clear the drains every October. I filled 5 notebooks and 3 external hard drives. I learned which roof was next to fail, which tenant was quietly struggling, which plumber actually showed up on Sundays. Victor thought I was keeping Abuelo company. He had no idea I was being groomed. The night Abuelo died, Victor was in Aspen. I was holding his hand when he smiled one last time and said, "Tell them I wasn't as traditional as they thought." Which brings us to today. Victor just finished his victory speech about professionalizing the portfolio and protecting Mom's legacy while passing out glossy folders with his new company logo already on them. Mom is tearing up. Aunt Claudia is clapping like it's the second coming. Victor clears his throat. And now, per Abuelo's final wishes, the estate attorney will read the distribution. The lawyer, a woman who looks like she's seen every dirty family secret in the county, opens a blue-backed document. Victor leans forward, already smirking. To my grandson Victor Delgado, I leave my collection of vintage neckties and $10,000, so he always did like to dress the part. You could hear a pin drop. Victor's face freezes mid-smile. To my daughter Isabel and my sister Claudia, I leave the beach condo in Puerto Rico, to be shared equally, because family is not a business. Mom gasps. Aunt Claudia actually squeals. The lawyer turns the page. And to my granddaughter, Sofia Mari Paz Delgado, who sat with me, listened to me, and loved the people in my buildings as much as I did, I leave the remainder of my estate, all real property, bank accounts, and the responsibility to keep doing things the way I did. Because she is the only one who ever asked about the people behind the rent checks. The room explodes. Victor's face goes from confused to purple to something I've never seen: panic. Lauren's hand falls off his arm like it's suddenly hot. I stay in my cracked leather chair, heart hammering, feeling Abuelo's master key ring heavy in my pocket. Victor stands up, so fast his chair rolls into the wall. This is insane. She's a photographer. She'll bankrupt us in a year. The lawyer raises one perfectly arched eyebrow. Your grandfather was of sound mind, Mr. Delgado. 3 doctors and a judge confirmed it. The will was updated 8 months ago. You're welcome to challenge it, but the no contest clause is digressive. I finally stand, walk to the head of the table, the seat Victor was already mentally occupying, and place the key ring in the center. It lands with a loud, final clink. Meeting's over. I say quietly. Tenants need me. Some of them have stories you never bothered to hear. And for the first time in 34 years, nobody tells me to sit back down.